I did my green belt, say, about 2 years ago. We had it at Intercontinental Barakhamba. Well, since then, the journey, of course, started years ago in 2004. ICICI Bank launched 5S. 5S is a Kaizen concept. It's again a part of quality. And since I was one of the change agents, we started using Six Sigma. Then ICICI introduced something very interesting, which was segmented wait time. Again, it involved statistical tools, VLOOKUPs, pivots, which was quite a part of quality. When in 2006, I became the regional quality manager with ICICI Bank, and 2007, I did my green belt from Benchmark. Of course, Khatri sir has been guiding us through. We've done many projects. I've had 6 projects under my line. 3 I've been a project owner, 3 I've been a team member. We've had everything. Open forums especially have helped. I was just discussing this with Khatri sir and Abhishek some time ago. In ICICI, we do not have much of quality. We cannot use Minitab. But then Abhishek and the open forum have been very, very supportive from Benchmark. If I'd say, and I'm not going to be exaggerating, all these 6 projects I've done on Excel thanks to Benchmark. The forum that we run has been so helpful, especially some of the people whom I can name offhand on my fingers. They've been very, very supportive. You know, I tell you, here, I don't know how much of you would understand the gravity. But I've had my counterparts and my colleagues who've done it from other, they've done it from ISI, some people have done it from ASQ. I think by far Benchmark is the most competitive. I mean, I'm not here to advertise or anything, it's just that I can really feel it. It's been 3 years now that I've been in this profile. And every year I think, maybe this would stagnate and I would have mean, median, standard deviation remains same. What else will I learn? But every year, in fact, every day, forum gets me something. I need to work on it, get myself updated, and it becomes a task, but it's really been very good. I'm going to be taking my black belt this year. In fact, I've already enrolled for my May session with Khatri sir, May and June session. Anything in particular, if you want to ask me about green belt, then I could help you. Or otherwise, I could tell you that, the kind of projects that we've done and how has Benchmark or Six Sigma tools helped me in it. But I'll start with a very basic project work of mine. If you've ever noted, sometimes you go to a bank or any of the branches of ICICI and you'd hear that the systems aren't working. Actually, the issue is just not about technology or server down. It's also about the kind of bandwidth people use. If there are 6 users in a branch which have been assigned bandwidth, and if there are 17 logged in, or for example, if there is an X bandwidth which is supposed to be used by an X employee, and he is using X raised to the power of Y, that becomes an issue. So we done this project. That was my first project in quality, and these 6 projects I've realized if you've defined a project well, half of your work is done. You know what's your why. Go to the forum, just type in your why and you'd get all the X's in life. So you don't have to use your brains for anything. If you know what you want to know, your why in particular, and you want to know what would be your X's for those Y's, just go to the forum, type in your question. I mean, that's just a joke, of course. But once, but it is already reckoned. All you have to do is just go there, type in your why, and all the world will tell you your X's, whichever viable, just pick them and your project is done. Because what you're left with is your analyze and control. Analyze anyways would be very, very organization specific. However, control you'll have to, there are many ways. In our organizations, we usually depend on trend analysis. The initial year of quality work in ICICI was basically MIS management. Okay, and if there was a customer who had complained about something, as a quality manager, I had to do a root cause analysis, which we somehow managed to do it very beautifully and present a very glorified picture. 2007, after we did our project, after these 4 days, I had a wonderful network after my training. I know people in HCL, I know people in Genpact, I know everywhere. I know people in Accenture, everywhere. HSBC, So if you want to, float your resumes around, best 4 days. One of the best projects that I went through was manpower. We had about 2,900 staff in ICICI Delhi alone. We actually, we started something known as a last man out, which was our branches closed at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock, depending on the timing of the branch. And people used to leave not before 10 o'clock. This manpower project that we did, we have an LMO of 15 minutes. Branch closes at 6 o'clock and we leave by 6:15. So that was one of the good projects that we did. It was very famous, especially, you see, we have all our competitor banks. They close at 4, but they leave at 6:30. We close at 6, we're off by 6:15. So we did that. We did transaction analysis in that. We did what kind of work they do, what is the profile each one should manage, what is the kind of transactions each person should do. There are many things involved. One of the projects that we did was, what happens is that the kind of cash that we keep overnight in a branch, okay, we have to pay to RBI for keeping that cash with us. So we did a project wherein every branch has to only keep the least amount of cash, which initially they said we cannot. We derived formulas, we derived plus and minus, and then we did, of course, DMAC was involved there because we had to define. Defining was very difficult. What would be the kind of cash X sized branch that needs to keep and things like that. We did a DMAC project, and I think it's really helped. Especially with the CRR going up, it's really helped. See, if you've defined everything well, you know your Y, you know your X's, project becomes easy. You can give the maximum time to your defining stage and your control stage. But that control should not be infinite. There has to be a deadline. And of course, regular trend analysis. I have customers who are very ecstatic about the idea about ICICI. I have customers who have not had good experiences. I'm sure we changed those experiences. Yeah, the coupon and the manpower project was for 4 months. We were called to Bombay. Otherwise, it was done in Delhi NCR, and then it had a national impact, of course. To the bandwidth and the ICHL, the cash retention formula that we derived was, it was launched pan-India. The manpower, of course, LMO has come, but there are many things that need to be taken care of. Like we just derived which person, we are deriving something wherein one employee should not travel more than 7 kilometers. So that would save time for all of us. So again, that is in the pipeline. So we are working on that now. Yeah, the coupon and the manpower project was for 4 months. We were called to Bombay. Otherwise, it was done in Delhi NCR, and then it had a national impact, of course. To the bandwidth and the ICHL, the cash retention formula that we derived was, it was launched pan-India. The manpower, of course, LMO has come, but there are many things that need to be taken care of. Like we just derived which person, we are deriving something wherein one employee should not travel more than 7 kilometers. So that would save time for all of us. So again, that is in the pipeline. So we are working on that now. I think hypothesis is simple. Actually, it all depends. See, any project that you take depends which tools to use would depend your variables. What's your USL, LSL? What is it that you really want to find? If someone says, if I am at 3 Six Sigma level and if I want to achieve something 2 months down the line, what would you think would be a 6 Sigma level? Defining all those things, it is very interesting.